Policy engineering. Oh, hello, darling. I thought you were going shopping this morning.
I am in a few minutes. But I had a very strange telephone call this morning, and I thought you'd like to hear about it. Have you got time?
Yes, of course. Who phoned?
The Fenton Insurance Company.
Fenton Insurance. I see.
Oh, you know them?
No, darling. No, I've never heard of them. No, please, go ahead.
Well, this man rang me up, and he said that they were selling a new policy to prevent women against acts of violence and peeping toms and things like that. And he thought that you might be interested in buying the policy.
Oh, he did he?
And when I asked him why he telephoned me, he told me that there's been several cases right here in this vicinity. But I haven't heard any. Have you?
No, darling, there's nothing to worry about. Look, if there'd been any truth in it, the papers would have been full of it.
You think so?
I'm quite positive. Now put the whole thing out of your head.
All right, darling, if you think so. It's okay.
Well, don't worry. Now, you go off and do your shopping.
I will. Bye, darling.
What's the matter, Paul?
Oh, no, nothing. Carol got a crank call. It doesn't mean a thing.
Oh, it's a nasty thing to do. I think people who make those sort of calls should be sent to jail with the rest of the crooks.
Crooks? Yes, I suppose you're right. The trouble is, it's almost impossible to trace them. Oh, really? Oh, thank you, John. I'll ask him to come in with you. Right.
Hello, Paul.
Oh. Hello, Fenton.
Nice little place you have here.
Yes, it is. What do you want? Doing here, Fenton?
I just want to show you a little property I'm interested in.
This?
It's a bookshop.
You? Interested in the bookshop?
Why not? I know a great deal about books. I've read extensively.
Oh, I see, yes. Of course, now you want to own your own library.
No, not badly enough to pay what I'm being asked to pay for this shop.
And what do you want it for? The front?
No, not exactly. No, I'm more interested in its location.
Location? Doesn't look very good to me.
Well, that's because your present vista is rather limited. You see, directly behind this shop across a courtyard is the back wall of Messrs. Davis & Sons, jewelers.
Oh, I might have guessed. A gentle little job of breaking and entering, eh?
But of course.
By what stretch of your warped imagination do you have me tied in on this?
Because you're an engineer. I know you continued your studies in prison and even afterward managed to get an engineering degree. Well, that was very clever of you. In fact, you're precisely the sort of engineer which makes you a very useful friend in need. Now, let me explain my plan to you.
No, don't bother, Fenton. I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, I think you'd better, you know, now that you're here.
Now, look, I came here because
you didn't want me to interfere with your quiet and happy little life.
Well, it's going to stay quiet and happy. Yes.
Yes, I don't see why not. After you've lent me a little of your professional skill and knowledge, of course.
What do you mean, lent it to you?
There's £250,000 worth of jewels in the basement vault of Messrs. Davis & Sons. I want them, Paul.
Well, I don't. No part of them.
Now, wait. I promise you, you won't be involved in the actual robbery. Judd and I take care of that.
Well, what do you want me for, then?
My plan is very simple, apart from one or two little minor complications over which I need your help. Now, I believe I told you that the back of this shop faces the back of the jewelers across a courtyard. Well, I propose to tunnel through from the basement of this shop across the courtyard to the vault. will blast it through and help myself to £250,000.
I get off.
That's right, Chuck. Of course you do. You get half.
Yes, but Fenton, where exactly do I come in on this pleasant little scheme?
Well, of course, I'm wise enough to realize that a tunnel like that couldn't be built by an amateur. I mean, in the first place, it's got to be large enough for Jug and myself to get in and out of easily. Also strong enough to withstand the blast when we blow through the wall.
I see. So that's why you need an engineer.
That's why I need an engineer.
Well, if you think I'm going to help you, you can think again.
But of course you're going to help me.
No, Fenton. The answer is no.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. You know, I did so hope I wouldn't have to use threats.
Do you think I'm afraid of this goon here?
Jug? But Chuck wouldn't hurt a fly.
I like flies.
But I do know something about you that neither your wife nor your firm know about. Would you like me to enlighten them? Of course, your wife might forgive you for not telling her that you've been in prison 2 years for pushing drugs.
It wasn't my fault, Fenton, and you know it.
Oh, no. That's just a quibble. You were convicted. Then there's your firm, the Halsey Engineering Construction Company. They're so respectable, aren't they?
Yes, but they happen to like my work. It mightn't matter to them.
It mightn't matter to them. Paul, you've read some psychology, haven't you? Remember that little reflex action called association? Just mention that someone was once convicted of selling drugs and he immediately becomes an addict.
Well, I'm not as fond of my job as all that, Fenton.
Oh. In that case, we'll have to concentrate on your wife, won't we?
You leave Carol out of this.
Yes, she's very pretty, isn't she? You know, Jug, he likes pretty girls.
Why, you dirty rat.
It's off, chum.
It's all right, Jug, it's all right. Jug doesn't like anyone ever to lay a hand on me. The trouble with Jug is, he never knows when to stop.
All right, Fenton, well, then don't you dare lay a hand on Carol, and that goes for you, too.
All right, then we understand each other, don't we? You'll help me with the tunnel?
I'll think about it.
Well, don't think too long. I want to start work here as soon as possible. You meet me here tomorrow when you finish.
I told you, Fenton, I'll think about it. Oh, do you mind? Hello, darling.
I thought you were never coming.
Well, I had to work overtime on some plans at the office.
Paul, you look tired.
Well, I am a bit. It's been a hectic day.
Tell me all about it.
Oh, there's nothing that would interest you.
Darling, everything you do interests me.
Everything. Well, that takes in rather a lot of boring details. You wouldn't want me to tell you about that.
You have? Why stop now?
Oh, you're in college. Yeah, give me a kiss.
I think it might be a good idea to have a record player down here. To cover the noise Jug makes while he digs during the daytime. As the shop sells records, the music shouldn't attract undue attention.
Oh, it's scary down here.
All right, Jug. I'll exercise all the ghosts before you begin work.
Thanks.
Well, this floor's concrete. Should hold quite a lot of equipment.
You ask for whatever you want. After all, $250,000 is worth some outlay.
Tell me, which is the wall under the yard?
This one.
Oh, yes. I don't think that should give us any trouble, but I'll have to check the supports on the upper floor.
Well, you have a completely free hand in all matters concerning engineering.
Oh, now, that's very considerate of you.
Well, tact and tactics. Always were my speciality.
Yes, of course. Oh, I shall need some extra cable in case we run into stone and I have to use a jackhammer.
Tell me, is there any way of finding out in advance what difficulties we're likely to meet?
Yes, I can check with the Borough Surveyor's office and see if there are any relevant plans of the area.
Uh-huh.
But in the meantime, I shall have to take some soil tests in the yard.
Somewhat.
He means that he wants to find out whether the soil in the yard is firm enough not to cave in when we start tunneling underneath it.
Oh, Fenton, you do know a little bit about quite a lot of things, don't you?
Well, I always like to think of myself as a rather superior dilettante.
Tell me, would I be seen in the yard now?
No, I doubt it. Mainly a business district. Everyone goes home at night, if they've got any sense.
But I think I'll make the soil test now.
Oh, by the way, if you're getting any funny ideas about telling me that the soil isn't suitable, you can forget them. That tunnel will be dug, and with your help, whatever the soil.
Very well, if you don't mind being buried alive, we'll forget about the soil test. Hello, Carol. Sorry I'm late. I got held up at the office again.
You're forgiven. They're lovely. But I thought husbands only brought their wives flowers when they had a guilty conscience.
What do you mean, guilty conscience?
I only tease him, silly.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course you are. Well, the trouble is I'm half starved.
Darling, I'll go and warm up for dinner.
Thank you, sweetie. Carol?
Yes?
I'm afraid I'm going to have quite a lot of late nights in the next few weeks.
Oh, why?
Well, it's a new project we're working on. It's quite a rush job, and that means a lot of planning, conferences, and burning the midnight oil and so on.
How many nights a week will it take?
Well, I'm afraid it's going to be every night.
Every night?
Well, darling, it'll only be for a month, and it could mean promotion.
Yes, but every night.
But, darling, it'll pass more quickly than you think. You'll see.
How late will you have to work?
Well, it's hard to say, but I should probably imagine about 11 or 12.
11 or 12?
Well, I can't help it, darling. I've got to do it.
But, Paul, alone, that telephone call this morning.
Well, look, now, you're not to worry about that phone call. I checked with the police, and there's absolutely no truth in it.
Oh, that's good anyway. Oh, well, I suppose if you have to.
It'll mean a lot to my career, darling. You never know. You may get that car sooner than you think.
I don't want it that much. And if it means all that to you, I'll manage.
I knew I could depend on you. Bless you.
I hope you don't mind coming down into our vault, Monsieur Bart.
Oh, of course not.
But it'll save my having to take these precious stones up all upstairs for inspection.
But naturally.
For a connoisseur and a professional merchant like yourself, Monsieur Bracht, it's a pleasure to show you everything.
You're very kind. You know, I'm sure that I shall find something here that I want to take back to Switzerland with me.
Perhaps we can interest you in something like this.
No, I don't think so. No. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm really only looking for Marquis diamonds.
Ah, of course.
And to be even more honest, I'm looking for the Howard diamond in particular.
You actually mean the £100,000 Howard diamond?
Yes, that's right.
But I'm afraid we don't have it, sir.
You have not got it?
No.
Oh, really, that's too bad, you know, because if I'd only been told that before, I wouldn't have put you to all this trouble of showing me your collection.
That's all right, Monsieur Bracht. I only wish we had it to sell it to you. But perhaps we can interest you in these. They're from the collection of the late Princess Olga of Helsingborg. Worth £250,000.
Oh, yes, that's very beautiful, isn't it? But £250,000, that's a lot of money. Thank you very much. Next time I'm in London, I'll be sure to come and see you. Thank you.
Please do so. Our safety precautions.
Oh, you're very wise. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Did you get into the vault?
Of course. Afterwards, while it was still fresh in my photographic mind, I drew a pretty little picture of the adjoining wall.
Yeah. You draw pretty good, Mr. Fenton.
Do you put that record player down in the cellar?
Yeah, it's all connected. I'll put most of the records down there, too.
Good. Now, you go down, put on a record, and turn it up as loudly as you can. I want to hear if it'll drown the noise you make during the daytime.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Fenton.
Cool, I've heard about these French records.
As you can see, I've tried to draw as accurate a plan as possible from the limited information available.
Well, I trust your soil samples were satisfactory.
Not very. I didn't dig down very deep. You see, I don't really know what's underneath.
But what about the borough surveyor's plans?
Not available, I'm afraid. We'll be digging blind, but that doesn't worry me too much. I can't foresee any unusual obstacles, and the topsoil should hold.
Good. And I also trust my drawings of the wall and the vault were satisfactory?
Fine. The only thing is that the jeweler's basement is deeper down than this cellar. That means we'll have to dig on a slight downgrade. Not much, but enough to allow us to come out exactly opposite the vault wall. As you can see, I've got it calculated.
How long do you think the whole operation will take?
Well, only one of us can dig in the tunnel at a time.
Well, remember, Jug digs during the daytime.
Yes, well, counting on any mishaps or obstacles, I'd say a month.
A month? As long as that?
Yes, but we haven't got any heavy earth shifting equipment. Only picks and shovels. And it's 30 yards long.
Yes, but even so, it...
And remember, we've got to build props as we go along to support the roof against the blast. As far as I'm concerned, the sooner it's over and I'm rid of both of you, the better.
Better for all of us.
Yes. And I'll show you where we start from.
Set off hard work. How much longer is this going to go on?
All right, Jug. Your turn in the tunnel now.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, Paul. How's it going, eh?
Not bad. What are you going to do with all that stuff there?
Got a van. Chuck and I'll get rid of it every night when we finish. Probably in the river.
Well, don't accidentally slip and fall in yourself, will you?
Yes, that'd be tragic, wouldn't it?
Very sad indeed.
What did you hit, John?
I don't know. Some sort of pipe, I think.
Oh, you idiot. You punctured the gas main.
Oh, I must have did it without seeing it.
Yeah, well, put your hand over it quick. Keep it there. I'll get somebody to plug it.
Now, what is it?
It's a gas main. I'll have to put a temporary patch on it fast.
What do you think best?
This should do it.
Hurry up, man. It's killing me.
All right, all right. Do, for the time being. We'll stop the leak anyway.
What are we going to do? That main's right across our path.
Nothing we can do about it. Probably supplies gas to most of this neighborhood. We just have to dig around it carefully and then step around it.
Clumsy idiot.
I was right to know there was gas in it. It looked like an ordinary pipe.
Well, we're making good progress, Paul. Jug should have another few feet dug out before tomorrow night.
Yes, but he wants to be more careful with that gas main. That patch isn't all that strong, you know.
Sure, any time I see something funny, I'll call you before whacking it.
Why don't you go ahead and whack it? Maybe it'll blow up in your face.
No, I don't have to take that from you, Mr. Engineer.
Now, cut it out. Both of you.
He can't talk to me like that. He treats me like I'm stupid or something.
Maybe it's because you are stupid.
I said cut it out, didn't I? All right, Jug, I'll get changed. No, Paul, I advise you not to provoke Jug too far. You might not think so, but it can be very dangerous.
Your dinner will be coming in a moment, darling.
No, you shouldn't have waited up for me, darling.
Well, no husband of mine who works an 18-hour day is going to come home to a cold meal alone, no matter what they are.
Well, no husband could ask for more than that, could he?
I'll have a cup of coffee, too.
Good.
By the way, how is all this late-night work going?
Well, it's going very well, you know.
And what sort of a special project is it?
Oh, just the usual thing, you know, darling.
No, I don't know.
Well, it's a big industrial complex outside Manchester. We're doing the engineering plans for it. There's a bit of a rush on it.
And just how do you rush it?
Well, first of all, by working all hours of the day and night.
Paul, how in the world did your hands get like that?
Hands? Oh, couldn't have washed them very well, could I?
But your hands have never been in a state like that before. Surely you didn't get them so filthy just working on plans?
No, I didn't, as a matter of fact, darling. I had to help a friend of mine. Had a breakdown in his car on the way home. You know, I tinkered a bit with the engine. That's how they...
You sure, I don't have a competitor?
Competitor?
Well, all these late nights.
If you mean have I a girlfriend, the answer is no.
I hope not.
Of course not, darling.
Montrez-moi les quartiers intéressants de la ville. Faites le tour de la ville. Montrez-moi un quartier des grands magasins.
I'm learning French, Mr. Fenton.
Arrêtez ici.
Learning French? Yeah.
Attendez-moi.
From this record.
S'il vous plaît.
Here. What do you think of this? Bonjour, je suis un homme, je m'appelle Pierre. How's that?
Remarkable. Maurice Chevalier had better watch out.
Here, Mr. Fenton. Who's Maurice Chevalier?
He's the French ambassador, Judge.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fenton. Mr. Fenton.
What is it?
Do you think any of our customers talk French?
Well, some might.
Then I can practice on them.
Well, frankly, I think your brand of French would be incomprehensible even to a Frenchman.
What does all that stuff I was saying mean, anyway?
Well, bonjour means good day. Je suis un homme, I'm a man. Je m'appelle Pierre, my name is Pierre.
You're not so fast.
Look, you just stay and look after the shop, will you, Jug?
Bonjour. Je suis un homme. Je m'appelle Pierre. Bonjour.
Oh, bonjour.
Je suis un homme.
Well, I certainly didn't think you were a woman.
What? Je m'appelle Pierre.
How do you do, Monsieur Pierre?
My name's not Pierre.
But you just said it was.
Couldn't have said that. Why should I change my name? You don't know your French.
Oh, I am a professor of French.
You've been looking at the wrong books, mate.
Oh, pardon. Mais il est fou, ce type-là. Mais je ne sais pas quoi faire, c'est pas
Hey,
abruti.
nuts.
I'll have this book, please.
Okay, half a crown.
Half a crown?
Yeah, half a crown.
You sure? Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Quite a bargain, you know.
Well, what's a bargain about that book?
Well, this is quite a rare book. Keats, you know. It's worth about £50.
50 quid?
Mm-hmm.
That dirty old book.
Yes. Quite a find, isn't it? Well, thank you. Good day.
Here, give it back.
Give it back, but I've just bought it from you for half a crown.
Give it back.
Give it to me,
What's going
I
on here? This bloke was trying to swipe a book worth 50 quid.
That's a lie. He sold me this book for half a crown. Then when I told him it was worth about £50, he tried to snatch it back from me.
Of course, the gentleman's in the right. It's up to us to ascertain the value of books before we sell them.
Mr. Fenton,
Please forgive my assistant, but he was up all night studying. Now, I do hope you'll come back and see us again and perhaps obtain another book of rare value.
But Mr. Fenton, you can't let 50 quid walk out of here just like that.
You idiot. What's £50 compared to 250,000? We're interested in the jewels, not in the sale of a few miserable books. Besides, we don't want to draw attention to ourselves, do we?
I'm sorry, Mr. Fenton.
All right, Chuck. I'll get back to work.
Yes, Mr. Fenton.
Right, Paul, time to knock off.
Yes, not a minute too soon, either.
Tell me, how's Carol?
Oh, she's very much better, thank you.
Look, I'm going over your way. If you give me a lift, I'll pop in and see her.
Well, I'm sorry, Derek, but it's not very convenient tonight. I have an appointment the other side of town.
Some other time, then.
Yes, of course.
Lock up, Peter, would you?
Right, sir. Good night, sir.
On that pipe now.
All right, I can see it.
Doug. Yeah? While I'm working here, I want you to keep your eye on the roof.
Why?
In case any fissures develop.
Any what?
Cracks in the roof.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, now. Yell out if you see anything.
Yeah, sure.
Good.
What's wrong?
What happened?
It's the roof.
Let's get Paul out.
Oh, I'm not going in there. The whole thing's liable to go.
I said get Paul out. Come on, let's go.
Paul, are you all right?
But anyway, there are no bones broken.
Tell me, Paul, how did it happen?
I don't know. We were working away at the end of the tunnel when the roof shoring collapsed.
I was watching. That tunnel just ain't safe.
Of course it's safe. Isn't it, Paul?
Does it look like it? Well, I'm going home.
Give my love to Carol, won't you?
Paul?
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I hope I didn't wake you up.
No, I'd already woken up when you went there. What's wrong?
There's nothing wrong. I've missed a little. I can't sleep, that's all.
Darling, you're getting so little sleep as it is. There is something wrong, I can tell.
No. There isn't, very honestly. It's just I'm feeling a little overstrained, I suppose, from all that work piling up at the office.
Are you sure that's all?
Well, of course I'm sure. Why can't you believe me when I tell you?
It's just that you've been acting so strangely recently, that's all. Paul, it's almost as if you're keeping something from me.
I'm sorry I snapped at you just then, darling. It's just that I'm feeling very tired, that's all.
Well, look, why don't you go into the office late tomorrow morning? After all, they can't expect you to work day and night.
Thousands of men do occasionally work day and night. Please, darling, don't make the situation worse than it is.
Well, come to bed now.
Yes, I will. Go on, I'll come right away.
These figures, Paul, they're all cockeyed.
What do you mean, Derek?
They've been checked upstairs, and not one of them checks out.
I'm terribly sorry. I couldn't have known what I was thinking about.
Look, you've been making a lot of mistakes lately. What's the matter? Is Carol worse?
Oh, she's fine.
You better snap out of it, Paul. Otherwise you'll have the old man on your heels.
Yes, gentlemen, what can I do for you? Are you the owner of this shop?
I am, yes.
Oh, well, my name's Collins. I'm a reporter.
A reporter?
Yes, on the Bookshop Weekly News.
Really? Oh, you mean our esteemed trade journal?
I told him about this first edition that I bought here for £0.50. We were hoping we might get a story in the photograph.
A photograph?
Yes, of you and Mr. Miller.
May I ask why?
Well, it's an example to the trade. We'd like to play up your honesty in insisting this gentleman keep the book after he bought it so cheaply.
Oh, really? It was Nothing at all, you know.
Oh, now you're being too modest. I've just had this valued for £60. We thought it would make a good human interest story.
Well,
Oh, you owe it to other booksellers to let us tell them about you.
Now, please don't misunderstand me, but I don't approve of personal publicity, especially in the daily press.
This is just the Bookshop Weekly News, sir. We've no affiliations with the big newspapers.
Well, if you're absolutely certain that it won't be published in any of the daily press.
Positive. Our magazine's not important enough to catch the attention of the big press boys. Well, all right, then we'll write you up anonymously. Neither your name nor the name of the shop. But just let us have the story with a picture.
I'm afraid I still don't like it.
You know, we could write the story with your name and all the details without asking your permission. But we don't like to do it that way.
All right, then. Just the story and a photograph, but the rest anonymous, please.
Of course. If you would just stand here, sir. Right. And you there, sir. That's right, facing each other. Right, Joe. Now shake hands.
No.
And with your free hand, Mr. Miller, hold the book up a bit, will you?
Look this way. Right, hold that. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much, sir. You'll see the story in next week's edition. Come on, Prof.
Thank you.
You shouldn't have let him take your picture, Mr. Fenton.
I did it for the same reason that I let the man take the book. Save any fuss. Anyway, I didn't have very much choice, did I?
I don't know.
How right you are. You don't know a thing, do you, Jeb? All right. Get back to work.
I didn't mean any harm, Mr. Fenton.
Why are you late?
For your information, Fenton, I also have another little job for which I draw a weekly paycheck.
Well, Paul, if you came in with us, you'd never have to work again. Just think of it. The third share of £250,000. Doesn't that appeal to you?
No, the idea doesn't appeal to me at all. Thanks very much all the same.
What a pity you can't be more friendly.
Look, Fenton, the only consolation in this job is that when it's over, I'm rid of you for good. Come on, let's go. Turn to dig.
You weren't in there long enough.
We alternate, half hour each. Now it's your half hour.
I've been digging all day long. I'll dig when I'm good and ready.
All right, if you don't want to dig, don't dig. So for the next half an hour, there'll be no digging.
I'm getting pretty sick of you.
Feeling is mutual, I can tell you.
So you didn't dig half hour.
Now look, Jug, don't try and impress me with your muscle because I'm not in an impressionable mood.
Now, cut it out, both of you! I told you I didn't want any trouble, didn't I?
He won't do his share of work.
That's a lot of malarkey and you know it. The fact is, it's just the opposite. Damned if you're going to rob this jewelry shop with me digging that whole tunnel by myself.
Well, gentlemen, I'm sure this will be very easily settled.
Stop where you are. All of you. I mean it.
May I ask who you are, sir?
My name is Grimes. That's all you need to know. I'm well acquainted with you. These other two gentlemen, however, are totally unfamiliar to me.
He's a copper.
Might look like that, but fortunately for all of us, I'm not.
And what can we do for you?
Well, that's perfectly simple. I want to be let in on your little project.
This is just a bookshop. We're merely doing a little simple renovating down here.
Come, Fenton. You forget I overheard mention of a jewel robbery. Not that made any difference. I'd already worked out for myself what you were up to.
May I ask how?
I read the weekly bookshop news. I'm in the same business myself. Of course, I don't sell the same sort of books that you do. Mine are aimed strictly at the male population.
Obviously another literary gentleman.
It's a living. And if I wasn't in the business, I wouldn't have run across and recognized your photograph, Fenton.
I must say I don't recognize you. Now, what is your proposition, Mr. Grimes, was it?
Well, in return for a fourth share of the profits,
Hello.
Hello. Can I speak to Mr. Adams, please?
Adam? Oh, there's no Adams here.
Oh, isn't that the Halsey Engineering Construction?
Yes, but there's no Adams here.
Oh, but there must be. Mr. Adams is working late, sir.
Nobody ever works late here. They all go at 5:30. I'm the cleaner. I should know. I clean these offices every night.
Oh, but there must be some mistake. Mr. Adams has been working there late every night for the last month.
Are you his wife?
Yes.
Well, dear, it's time you got to know men. Tell him fairy stories about working late at the office when they're gallivanting with other women. Oh, I can sympathize with you, dear. I lost 2 husbands like that myself.
Well, I've had enough for one night, but you three carry on.
It ain't fair, only 2 of us digging.
You're quite right. Fenton must pitch in and help.
I didn't mean Mr. Fenton. I meant you.
Oh, no, there, I can't agree with you. No, the tunnel will be finished that much quicker if 3 people work on it. And Fenton must be the 3rd man. Well, I believe him now. Don't try to follow me. I'll be back. I won't say when, but I'll be back.
You know, I think something must be done about our Mr. Grimes.
You want me to go after him, Mr. Fenton?
No. No, that's what he expects. He's not unintelligent. Did you notice that he gave us no hint of where he came from? I think we'll have to find that out.
Now, look, Fenton.
Hmm?
I want to get one thing clear with you. There's going to be no rough stuff.
Rough stuff? Of course not.
Good, so long as that's understood. Carol, darling, I was just... What's this doing here?
I phoned you at your office this evening.
Oh, really? Well, I must have just gone out for a moment.
The cleaning woman answered. She said you hadn't been there tonight or any of the other nights.
Carol, you had no right to spy on me.
I wasn't spying on you. I was lonely. I just wanted to talk to you for 2 or 3 minutes, that's all. Was there anything wrong with that? Paul, where have you been all these nights?
Darling, I can't tell you.
It's another woman, isn't it?
No, it is not another woman.
That's why you've been acting so strangely. You were feeling guilty because you knew I loved you. And all the time you were out with somebody else. And you hadn't the nerve to tell me.
No, darling, that's not true. I love you. There is no other woman.
Then why can't you give me an explanation?
Because I simply can't, that's all.
Paul, I'm your wife. I was until now. Why can't you tell me?
Darling, please believe me. I would tell you if I could.
That's all I wanted to know.
Darling, wait. Please, no, listen to me. Forgive me.
I'll send for the rest of my things later.
Carol.
just going off to lunch with the boss, Paul.
All right, Dad.
By the way, how's Carol?
Well, I think she's all right. The truth is, Derek, she's left me.
What? She's left you?
Yeah.
So that's what's been wrong all this time. Is there anything I can do to help?
No, there's nothing really anyone can do to help. Thanks all the same, Derek. Look, would it be very inconvenient if I had the rest of the day off?
No, you get along.
Thanks again. Hello, Oh, it's you, Mrs. Mills. No, this is Paul. Look, can I speak to Carol? It's very important. Thank you. I'll hold on. Hello, darling. It's Paul here. Look, darling, I want to see you. You know, we have lots of things to talk over, and no, I'm afraid I can't give you any explanation. I told you that. Carol, listen, darling, please.
Splendid. You're early for a change. Now we can make up for lost time.
What lost time?
Poor old Jug's hurt his hand. He wasn't able to do very much today.
Oh, how bad is it?
Not badly enough to go into hospital. It'll be all right in a couple of days.
I see. So in the meantime, I have to do all the work.
Not all, no. I'll help. Remember, we still have Mr. Grimes as foreman.
Oh, yes. Delighted, aren't you?
Good evening, Fenton.
Ah, Mr. Grimes. Do come in. We were expecting you.
I thought you might be. Where are the others?
Paul is in the tunnel.
And Jug?
No, Jug's not with us tonight.
Huh?
He's hurt his hand rather badly. Had to go into hospital. I told you he's not here.
Remember, I've still got this gun. And if that oaf tries to steal up on me from behind, whoever's in front of me is as good as dead.
You know, you've been watching too much television. Would you care to inspect the tunnel, Mr. Grimes?
You walk in front of me. Well ahead. Keep moving. You're making good progress.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Pity Jug's not here.
Yeah, some people have all the luck, don't they?
Don't try to follow me.
What a pity you don't trust me, Mr. Grimes.
The positions were reversed. Would you trust me?
No. No, perhaps you're right. beyond that lies the vault. I think you've done very well, Paul. We're ahead of schedule.
Further than I expected.
Now, what happened now?
Well, we'll have to chip the mortar out between these stones and then lift them out individually.
Chuck, everything all right?
Here, I thought you hurt your hand.
Oh, yeah, it's much better now. It was my wrist. I sprained it.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was nothing serious, Chuck.
Grimes.
Who?
What's happened to Grimes? Did you...
Nothing's happened to him.
Now, look, Fenton. I'm warning you. If anything has happened to him, I'm going to the police.
Oh, what a suspicious mind you have. Hadn't you better go and change your clothes, Chuck?
Oh, right, Mr. Fenton.
Right. Now let's get back to work, shall we?
Well, you should be able to get through that easily enough.
Yes, it's perfect.
And don't forget it. Use the diamond drill before you set the detonators. You want to get the minimum of vibration. When do you intend to carry it out?
Late tomorrow night.
You sure this tunnel's going to hold?
Yes, of course it'll hold if you do as you're told.
Don't worry, we will.
Oh, gentlemen, I wish you luck.
Thank you, Paul.
My own key. I guess I forgot to leave it.
You really mean you decided to come back?
I'm not sure, but I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about this night work.
Darling, I told you before, I can't say anything about that.
Paul, I know where you went tonight. I followed you.
Followed me?
Paul, I had to know. Did you go into that bookshop to rob it? Is that what you are in secret, a burglar?
No, darling, of course I'm not. I promise you. Now, look, please try and forget all about it.
Paul, I could have gone into that bookshop, but I came back here instead to wait for you and talk to you about it. Do you want to tell me about it? Darling, look, I love you. I want to help you. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. I'll stand by you, but I must just know what you've been doing.
Darling, suppose I told you that I was an ex-convict.
Is that all?
Do you really mean it doesn't matter to you?
Well, of course it matters to me, but it's not the end of the world. I'd just like to know all about it.
Well, that isn't all, darling. I could go to prison again.
Paul, I thought you were having an affair with someone. I know now it isn't true. And I want to help you, because you're in trouble. But I must know all about it.
All right. 6 years ago, I was arrested for it.
Paul, I can see the situation you were in. What did you do?
I had to become an accomplice.
In the robbery?
No, but that hasn't taken place yet.
Paul, we've got to stop them.
Yes, darling, but how?
Tell the police.
Well, don't you see I'm an accomplice? If Fenton's caught, I'll go to prison.
But you can't let him get away with it.
Darling, he's got to get away with it, don't you understand? If he gets away with it, I'll be rid of him. He'll leave the country, and no one will know that I helped him.
But the only way is to go to the police. This is the only way that Fenton can't hurt us anymore.
Darling, I don't agree with you. Fenton will do everything he said he was going to do.
Look, Paul, forget about Fenton. What he can do to you, what he can do to me. You simply cannot let him get away with this.
Darling, it's far too late to try and change things now.
It's not too late. Look, if you think for one moment that Fenton will be finished with you because of this, you're sadly mistaken. It'll just be a reprieve for future trouble.
But, darling, I don't think there's any point in discussing this any further tonight.
All right. I'll go and make some coffee.
This is the BBC Home Service, and here is a late-night news summary. Police are continuing their investigations into the murder of John Grimes, owner of a mail-order publishing firm. Grimes' body was discovered in the ground of a disused house in the Hatton Garden area. Police are anxious to contact anyone who can give information leading to the arrest of the killer.
They swore they wouldn't touch him.
Now we continue with our late-night
You mean you know this man who was killed?
Yes, he was in on the robbery, but it's too long a story to tell you now. But Fenton promised me he wouldn't touch him.
Paul, where are you going?
I'm going to stop this robbery and stop Fenton. I want you to call the police. Tell them to get over the bookshop. I'm going to make sure that they're there waiting for him.
Paul!
I've got the sandbags all stacked.
Good. That's the last of the wires. Now we're ready. Come on, let's get the satchels.
But I'm telling you, there's going to be a robbery. No, I don't even know the name of the jeweler's shop. But I think I could describe how I got there.
Fenton! Wait a minute. I thought I gave you clear warning to leave Grimes alone.
What are you talking about?
Don't play games, Fenton. You killed him.
Oh. So they've found the body, have they?
Yes, they have, and it won't be long before they catch up with you either.
He's called the cops.
No, I haven't. I just want to settle a private score with Mr. Fenton.
Oh, that should keep him quiet for a bit. Now, don't let's waste any more time. Right, now you place the blankets, I'll check this. All right?
Yeah, all set.
Good. Well, Judd, this is it. Now wait for it. All right, let's go! All right, you work that case. I'll take this one.
All right.
Have we got enough?
Wait a minute. There's Princess Olga's little trinket.
Who's she?
Princess Olga? Oh, she's a lady of taste.
Huh?
Hey, you!
Right, let's go. The lights are gone. Never mind, you follow me. Gas pipe should be about here somewhere. Ah, there it is. Now, you be careful how you get over there, Judge.
Your story checks with our information, Mr. Adams. We found some books from Grimes' office on Jugg's body, and we could see the way your car was stopping Fenton's.
Well, that's fine, Inspector, but what will happen to me?
That's up to a judge to decide. But we're satisfied that you tried to stop the robbery. That'll definitely be in your favor.
Well, thanks for all your help anyway.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. It's good of you to come, Derek.
I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, pop in. The nurses are very nice here.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Carol, don't worry. Everything is going to be all right.
I know it is.